This is Peter Call from Neutronics Refrigerant Analysis, and I'm here today with Zachary Ziegler, and we're going to give you the first of our quick tips based on information we receive from our customers when they email us or call us. Zach, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, Peter, today we're going to talk about the ACSD sealant detection kit. And a specific question we get from the customers all the time is, can we reuse these sealant sensing plugs?
Yeah, that's right, Zach. I've been getting that question for a number of years, and I know you field that question a couple of times a week. In the operating manual, it tells you you must change the plug every time you do a test. However, what you can do is you can reuse that plug a couple of times. Here's what happens. When I run a test in the morning on a vehicle and I get a good reading, which means there's no sealant in there, I might have a flow reading of 4. If I take that same vehicle and run it again after lunch, I may only get a flow reading of 3. And what happens there is the oil, the dye, and maybe a little particulate get inside the sensing plug and begin to restrict the flow. So, while a reading of 3 on a good car is still okay, eventually we get to the point where we can't reuse the plug. And Zach, what number is that?
Well, the rule of thumb is around 2. If you get below 2, then you should not reuse that plug. You should change out the plug and move on to
a fresh plug.
Yeah.
And once you get to a vehicle that doesn't pass the test, if you're using a used plug, you want to grab a new plug and rerun the test, because there's a possibility that a used plug could have some loose debris floating around that might look like it's sealant when it's really not there. So the rule of thumb, reuse the plug, don't let it go below 2, and
if there's sealant in the system, you detect sealant, it's obviously going to clog the plug up.
Yep.
So you can't reuse that plug. You would need a new one after each test.
Yep. This is Peter Call with Zachary Ziegler. We want to thank you for your time, and we'll be back with more tech tips.